Your game of the weekend on CBS did not disappoint, and you can hear by the Mac Man's reaction what's coming next. Sacked on 3rd and 1, time expiring. The Steelers hang on to win it 27-22 despite issues running the ball once again. It's a massive 7th victory and now a lead in the division. All right, back with the Mac to react to a massive victory here. We said, who wants to win this division? Who's going to lay claim to it? This 60 minutes of football goes a long way in figuring it out. Obviously, all sorts of issues here still for Pittsburgh, but it's enough today. What did they do well enough to win?
They played defensively what I call elbow defense. Your elbow, it bends, but it doesn't break. And that's what we saw. We saw some issues in between the 20s defensively for the Pittsburgh Steelers, trying to slow down King Henry and crew. But what they did was they were outstanding in red zone opportunities. I mean, today, the Baltimore Ravens, they were 2 of 6 in the red zone. That's winning football. They got 2 sacks on Lamar Jackson. When you talk about making sure you keep the roof on the house, not allowing splash plays. In the passing game, Lamar Jackson threw the ball for 183 yards. He averaged 5.5 yards per throw. That's not winning football. So those are the 2 areas that I saw massive improvement from the Pittsburgh Steelers defensively from what we did not see last week against Josh Allen and crew. And then Aaron Rodgers just did Aaron Rodgers things. And we even saw the gut belt check thing, right?
I've seen that a time or two before.
We haven't seen it in a while, right? So Aaron was back in his bag having a great day. 284 yards, 1 touchdown, no sacks. The offensive line did a great job keeping him upright and clean. And finally, the guy we've been calling for and asking for almost a month and a half, it feels like, DK showed up. 7 receptions, 148, and a touchdown. They made they made sure they were going to get him involved, and they did so early. And, of course, they were able to sustain that same level of production coming from DK Metcalf.
Rodgers had thrown for 175 pass yards or fewer in 3 consecutive starts, had not thrown for over 250 in a game this season, goes for 284 in this one. The way they get to those numbers, interesting. The depth of throw is something we could dive deeper into, but I believe we have boots on the ground ready to rock here. As we take a look at some numbers coming out of this one, Rodgers does enough, 23 of 34, 284, and the touchdown. A look at your box score here momentarily as we see that 27-22 final. And I want to go deeper with you here, Mac, on what this means, not just for this race for the North, but, man, it's a rivalry, and they take one off of the rival.
It feels good because we know what's at stake in this matchup, and being able to get off to a good nod was great for Pittsburgh.
And for more on the matchup, we take you out to the site where our lead voice of the NFL on CBS offers more. Tony Romo into the conversation. Tony, this is an interesting outcome here for the grand scheme of things, but so much history in it as well. Week to week, talk to me about the improvement you saw offensively from the Steelers.
I just thought that was the difference in the game, was just the fact that Aaron Rodgers comes out on right out the gate and launches a ball 50 yards in the air to DK Metcalf, and everyone's talking about how they don't have explosive plays, and all of a sudden, boom, right away, it was like, oh, they can be. Now, I do think they made significant changes outside at the wide receiver position. They got Adam Thielen this week. They brought up MVS, who's been with Aaron. And I think that helped get DK more one-on-one opportunities. They took their shots, and they were really able to, I don't want to say exposed, but they took advantage of those opportunities because they, high completion percentage, a couple 3rd and 3s. They're on go routes. And it shows you Aaron Rodgers can still do that. They just need the opportunities and to call them.
This was a matchup of perennial MVP Lamar Jackson. Obviously, we've seen more in more recent memory. 5 interceptions already this season after throwing just 4 in what could have been an MVP season a year ago. He's played far less football. Offensively, sort of same idea, but flip side of the coin, Tony. Where are you seeing things not click and get into rhythm for the Ravens?
Well, the first thing was Lamar has not been as explosive with his movement, whether it's design runs, scrambles. He just hasn't made as many people miss in situations. Today they had a few calls go against him that were very questionable. I also think he started to realize I kind of can go. I mean, when you have injuries like that in the hamstring, you don't really want to go from 0 to 60 and push the gas right away. So he's kind of been a little bit protective of that, but he opened it up a little bit today. And I think that'll continue to happen. He just ran into a Steeler team who in some ways got embarrassed last week against Buffalo in the run game for sure. And so they were going to bring it today. Now, they still give up a bunch of rushing yards, but they played very hard, and Patrick Queen played at an incredibly high level and made some huge plays in this game.
Gas an issue, breaks as well, even on that one that he takes in with his legs. Looks like it's not fun stopping right now for Lamar Jackson. We'll see what they look like moving forward, but a final thought here on the Pittsburgh Steelers, because you mentioned the explosives down the sideline. It looked, and I'm interested in how it looked to you, still vanilla in the way that they're stretching the field. Their inability to run the ball and then maybe those vanilla looks downfield. How far can that offense take you if it's a lot of perimeter here, perimeter there?
Well, the fact that they got out to the perimeter down the field is a good start. So you are right, though. Eventually, we can disguise things and then roll coverages over the top to make it look that way. They got caught later in the game on a similar type play on the third down to end where it looked like it was going to be one-on-one, but it wasn't. So I think teams will take advantage of that eventually. The big thing is they got to run the football. They just have not been consistent enough there. They have not found their footing there. And we'll see Aaron with the injury, with his hand hurt a little bit, but now he's back under center. They've got to figure out a way to get more plays that are in, get a chunk play here or there. Because right now they're just dependent on situational ball where they have to win on that third down. They have to win in the red zone. And if they don't, they're going to lose the football game.
34 total rushing yards as a team, but we did get to see one of those old discount double checks, and for that we give thanks. Tony Romo, thank you to you as well.
Thanks, appreciate it.
Another great call by our team there in Baltimore. A massive victory here on the road in a rivalry matchup, one that could go a long way in deciding that division, And you know, you have decisions as well. Make this one. It's Landman.
I'm caught up, by the way.
Streaming right now on Paramount Plus, an all-new season. Mac, no spoilers, but we know it's B-Mac's favorite show. All right, back in studio, Mac, and I do want one broader thought from you here because this is a rivalry matchup. You don't take the moment to gloat, but they go down in history, and this is one of the historic ones. What does this mean in terms of putting a little extra gas in the tank for Pittsburgh moving forward?
Well, this was a message to Baltimore because these two teams are fighting for that number one spot in the AFC, and understanding and knowing they got the best of Baltimore in the first outing. Now they have the leverage moving forward in the second opportunity when these two teams face off against each other. Because one thing we do know, guys, in the AFC North, only one team will get into the playoffs, and that's the team that will win the division. And right now, Pittsburgh they were able to separate themselves from the rest of the pack in the Baltimore Ravens and having a hold on the division. And let's say, hypothetically speaking, guys, if it comes down to the end of the season, I mean, it puts all the pressure on Baltimore to win that ball game. If that scenario comes out, hopefully Pittsburgh can build on this game and take this momentum into next week's game, prime time against the Miami Dolphins at home, to continue to create more separation from the Baltimore Ravens. 7
wins, you are lagging on the pace in the wild card positioning, so unless that second team gets hot, it's looking like a one-bid league there in the North. And this one, a massive step forward for the Pittsburgh Steelers over the Baltimore Ravens. More coming here on CBS Sports HQ postgame with a wet one in Duval. Didn't slow the arm.